You've probably heard a variety of rules of thumb to follow when it comes to personal finance. However, the harsh reality is that there is no one-size-fits-all guide to financial success. These are good starting points. However, blindly following them will not produce satisfactory results. Instead, consider the rules to be general guidelines. Regularly evaluate your goals and needs and adjust your strategies for saving, investing, spending, and debt repayment accordingly. So, here in this video, we talk about 10 money rules to break in 2022. Number 1. Save 10% for retirement. If you have a high income but plan to change careers, or if your income is not consistent, such as in some sales jobs, your long-term savings rate may need to be nearer to 50% to keep you on track for retirement. By saving more now, you are providing yourself with a safety net in the event of a significant decrease in income. Another reason the 10% rule isn't ideal is that some people simply cannot afford to save that much right now. In that case, it's far better to start with 4% or 5% and gradually increase your savings rate than to let this rule discourage you from saving at all. Number 2. Whatever you do, max out your 401k. If you're a high-wage earner, it is ideal if you can reach the maximum without much effort. However, if you earn $50,000 per year, you will need to set aside nearly 40% of your earnings for retirement. Remember that money contributed to a traditional 401k cannot be withdrawn until age 59.5 without penalty, with some exceptions. Early retirement planning is wonderful, but there may be some other goals you want to accomplish when you are young and need money soon. For example, you may wish to prioritize paying off high-interest debts such as credit cards or auto loans before putting a significant portion of your paycheck into a retirement fund. You should also save at least a few months' worth of income into your savings account so that you have money set aside in case of an emergency. Number 3. Save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses. One common financial planner adage is that you should have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses. Obviously, not many people are capable of achieving that goal. According to the Federal Reserve, 53% of participants in 2019 had set aside money specifically for emergency savings or rainy day funds, while 30% said they could not cover 3 months of expenses in any way. Depending on the circumstances, some people may be able to make do with a smaller cash reserve, while others may require a larger one. Number 4. Subtract your age from 100 to get your perfect investment allocation. One of the most basic asset allocation rules is to subtract your age from 100 to determine the percentage of your portfolio that should be invested in stocks. According to this rule, at the age of 25, you should invest 75% of your portfolio in stocks and the rest in bonds and other relatively safer securities. You invest 25% of your assets in stocks at the age of 75. This is because older people don't have as much time to wait for a market bounce back after a dip. The idea is to gradually reduce investment risk as you age. This 100 minus age rule is a good place to start when it comes to allocating investments. However, it does have some flaws. Number 5. Withdraw 4% of your savings in retirement. In your first year of retirement, you withdraw 4% of your portfolio, gradually increasing your withdrawal to cover inflation. For example, if you have $1 million in your retirement account, you withdraw $40,000 in the first year. If annual inflation is 2%, your withdrawal the following year is $40,800, $40,000 plus 2%, and you keep going for the next 30 years. In 1994, financial advisor William Bengen developed this rule based on historical data. But this isn't how life works. Nothing ever goes as planned. Your retirement spending may vary from year to year. This rigid rule takes no account of your investment performance, retirement time horizon, or current market and economic conditions. It is assumed that retirees have a balanced portfolio of stocks and bonds. Number 6. Spend no more than 30% of your income on housing. The 30% rule is a popular budget guideline for housing costs. The goal is to keep your rent or mortgage payment to less than 30% of your monthly income. This concept is based on housing regulations from the late 1960s. According to a United States Census Bureau study, the Brooke Amendment 1969 to the 1968 Housing and Urban Development Act established a rent threshold of 25% of family income in response to rising rental costs. According to the study, the rent standard was later raised to 30% in 1981 and has since remained unchanged. However, this standard that was established nearly 4 decades ago may no longer be applicable to many people today. According to a Harvard University study, 20.4 million renters, nearly half of the US country's renters, spent more than 30% of their income on housing in 2020. Number 7. Buy in bulk. Costco and other warehouse clubs may have lower unit prices than local grocery stores, and buying in bulk saves money for tens of thousands of American families. However, if you buy more than you consume, you will not necessarily be saving money. Indeed, many shoppers admitted to buying more than they needed simply because they couldn't resist the lure of super deals at those clubs. Furthermore, wholesale markets are not for every family. If you have a family of 2, the quantities of groceries you purchased on a large trip to a wholesale market may take weeks or even months to consume. You're basically paying a lot more upfront to save money later. Worse, jumbo-sized products may go bad or expire before you realize you even bought them. Number 8. Borrow as much student debt as your expected salary. Today, many college students are saddled with massive student loan debt. When deciding how much to borrow for higher education, a good rule of thumb is to keep your total student loan debt below your expected first-year annual salary. But wait a minute, private schools are much more expensive than public universities. Wage growth in some industries have been stagnant for decades. Graduates in finance or law may see significant wage increases as their careers progress. However, if they work for the government, their pay raises may be less frequent and less substantial. Number 9. Pay off your mortgage before saving for retirement. Because debt is a liability, you may be advised to pay off your mortgage as soon as possible. It may feel great to be completely debt-free, but paying off your mortgage early isn't always the best option, especially if you aren't planning on staying in your home long term. Prior to increasing your monthly mortgage payment, you should pay off any other high-interest debt, such as a credit card balance. Emphasize your financial goals, such as whether you want to pay off your mortgage or invest for retirement, or if you want to save for your children's education. If you can take advantage of the tax breaks or plan to relocate within the next 5 years, that money can be put to better use. And finally, number 10. Credit cards are bad. Many people avoid credit cards because they are afraid of spending money that they don't have and becoming enslaved by debt. These individuals are more likely to use debit cards or cash. Credit cards, on the other hand, are not all that bad if used wisely. To avoid a high-interest charge, a cardholder should pay off his or her balance on time and in full. By avoiding credit cards, consumers not only miss out on the opportunity to build credit, but they also miss out on rewards, which can take the form of travel points or cash that credit card companies offer to encourage cardholders to spend. So that's the end of the video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and press the notification bell so you never miss out on our next videos. Until the next video, take care.